Should I just go into like a spiel about like what the heck we've been up to since the last time?
Yeah, go for it.
If you're watching Devlog 2, I'm guessing you might have an idea of who I am, but just for the new people, I'm Lauren. I'm one of the two co-founders of Daruma Games. We're working on Soulmates here, and I largely deal with the design side, the marketing side, the business side of things, but I am an engineer by trade. Where the hell is Simon? Simon is moving to Chicago. He is leaving me from the Bay Area and he's moving all the way to Chicago so that he can go eat Chicago dogs and deep dish pizza, but he will be missed. And hopefully he'll be back at work soon because engineering productivity is down 90%. What is Soulmates? Soulmates is my hopes and dreams condensed into a game. No, I mean, kind of, yes, but Soulmates is a chaotic, cooperative, 4-player roguelike adventure that you can play together with your friends either locally or online. We're inspired by all sorts of games that I love and played a ton of. You have our games like Overcooked, you have Fast and Light, you have Lovers in Dangerous Space Time, you have Space Team, you have all these different fun little co-op games. And Soulmates is kind of a tribute and also our own spin on, what we think a modern day updated version of running a spaceship together with your friends ought to be like.
What's up, Doc?
Alright, well, since this is Devlog 2, you might be wondering what's been happening since Devlog 1. We've been up to a lot of things. So, in the last 2 or 3 months, we've basically been to a couple of major conventions to show off the Soulmates to kind of the general public for the first time. We were at PAX East in Boston, we were at DreamHack Dallas in, you could guess, Dallas, and then we were at the Mix Showcase in LA.
Yeah, didn't you never not notice that people from up here go down to LA and then they come back up here calling it LA?
Is that what they do?
LA.
LA.
Thank you. LA.
It's the first time that we kind of got to show off the game to the public at large for the first time. Obviously, we've played the game with friends and family, but like the first time to see real people pick up the game and enjoy it for the first time, and it was definitely an amazing experience. And what we've been telling people at these conventions, and also like just the overall plan of the game has always been to eventually expand that public to beyond just people that happen to be at the same place that we are, and to be like, oh, anyone that wants to download the game can try the game out for themselves to see if they want to wish list the game and do all those fun community engagement things that you can do by joining our Discord or hitting us up on our socials. And what that means is that we are putting out demos soon.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
It's been a long time cooking. Honestly, this demo, if you were talking about original plans, would have been out months ago, but turns out going to these conventions takes a lot out of you. And so we are planning on, in the very near future, putting out a demo that's gonna have lots of new stuff that's for anyone that's already tried the game already, and for the people that haven't tried the game, then you'll get to see the kind of core conceit of what we want Soulmates to be.
Well, what is it?
What is the demo? It can go all the way from like the metaphorical question of like why a demo, what is a demo, what are we doing in our demo. So first of all, you are the Soulmates. You just started your space agency where you're kind of like an odd jobs agency that's helping out your clients that are coming to you, but because you just started out, you don't really have any clients of note. And so the first mission that you're going to have, minor spoilers if you don't want to listen, is going to be what we call the pet mission. So essentially there's going to be a kid that's going to be like, oh, my pet's missing, please sir, help me find my pet. And you're gonna set off on the mission to go find this pet. That's gonna be the first mission in the demo, first and only. What you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of load out your ship, and then you're gonna set off, and along the way you're gonna be accosted by people that have unruly intentions toward your ship. Basically, you'll have enemies that you have to defeat along the way. You'll have to work together with your friends to make sure that your batteries are charged, make sure that your guns are loaded, make sure that your shields are in the right spot, make sure your ship's turned in the right direction. And as you go along that, you're going to run to kind of like the traditional roguelike layer of things, where you're going to run to different random events, you're going to run to different hazards, different enemy types. But along the way, you'll also continue this mission where you're going to look for clues for this pet that's missing. I think one of the cool things that we're doing with this game that not many roguelike games have tried before is to have a little bit more of a choose your own adventure element as you go through the game. So as you go through the missions, you're going to make choices that will like kind of branch you on what path of the story you're on. So if you finish the game one time, you might want to go back through and try some different options to see what happens if you chose otherwise.
Here we go again.
All right, sweetheart, all right.
Our game is going to follow the kind of like the general kind of trend of lots of amazing other roguelike games that release on Steam.
Give it to me. Now.
We want to go into like early access, and then kind of demo is a step on that path where eventually we want to get into a space where we're largely collaborating with our community and listening to, you know, what they like about the game, what, you know, what future content they want to see in the game.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? God damn it. What do you want?
And all that stuff. And so the demo is the first step on that journey. And so I think what we need to show everyone for the demo is we need to show them what the kind of like the basic building blocks of our whole game is. So there's lots of stuff that's still being built that we don't think is, you know, necessarily ready for public consumption, but like we've kind of like teed up all the kind of like best bits that are ready right now so that people can kind of get a good sense of what's in the game. So in terms of missions that are in the game, we're just going to be kind of showing off the first mission of the game. This will, in the full version of the game, this will still be the first mission. You'll be able to unlock things that persist all the way into the actual game. So, you know, don't worry about kind of like wasting your time on the demo, because it's essentially just like the chapter 1 of our game. We've added a ton of things. We've added a lot more different random events into the game where, you know, as you play through a roguelike run, everyone's used to kind of like running into, hey, let me pick between these 2 or 3 options that are kind of interesting. And obviously that is something that I love doing and something that we have in our game too. We have cosmetics in the game for the first time. If y'all have been asking for hats for a long time, I've been asking for hats for a long time, and we now finally have hats in the game. We have a whole lobby for everyone to hang out in, which is something that I don't think most people have experienced in our game, where you can kind of hang out with your friends before you go on to the mission. You can customize yourself, you can try out different weapons in our shooting range, and most importantly, the new thing is we added the thing that I'm calling the space bar. It's a bar in space. I'm very good at names. And the reason you can go to the spacebar is that you can start bragging about your exploits. Once you finish the first mission, the spacebar will unlock for you, and what you can do there is you can crank up the difficulty of the game. In other games, you'd probably hear this called like an ascension system or a heat system. If you know what games I'm talking about, I love those games too. And by interacting with that, you can kind of like turn the heat up for yourself, so that you can kind of bring the game to a nice difficulty level for yourself. You know, no shade at you if you can't beat it at the highest difficulty. I made Simon, my co-founder, try the highest difficulty by himself the other day, and he also lost. So, you know, even for someone with almost 3,000 hours in the game, you might lose to the highest difficulty. If you can beat it, send me a video of it, because that would be amazing. We're definitely planning on continuing to update the demo as people try it out. If there's things that people are particularly interested in, we can definitely add it in. But, you know, we want you to enjoy the demo, and we want you to eventually get our game as well. So we'll give you a taste, and then if you want to eat the full cake, then come buy our game.
I need it!
What does this release mean to me? This release just means that, you know, like, we are finally putting this game out there for people to try. And obviously it's the scariest possible thing for you to do, I think, as a developer, because, you know, it means you're kind of putting your work out for people to judge. But for someone that's worked on this game for 2 years, you know, like, I think that the game's pretty good, so I hope you think so too.
Pretty good.
There's a lot to being an indie dev. There's a lot of freedom that comes into being able to put whatever I want into the game. I can just be like, oh, I feel like eating pizza today. Let's put a pizza related item into the game. And that is a thing that can happen in the next 4 hours if I so believe. Maybe I should get some pizza. But there's a dizzying amount of freedom at times, you know, like I can put anything I want into the game. And so the correct answer to like what I should put into the game is like, this is the stuff that people find fun about the game. And there's my own perspective, but there's also millions and millions of other people outside with different perspectives than me. So I would love to get some people into the game so that we can start kind of that amazing indie feedback loop where people can tell me about what they like and what they don't like about the game, and then we can start building a thing that everyone will love together. Every little piece of feedback, like goes through my head, goes through Simon's head, and like if it resonates with us, like it's absolutely going in the game. That's the amazing thing about being an indie. Like, Simon and I, we both work AAA, and even for a dev on the team that has a good idea, it's hard to get that stuff in the game. But when it comes to indie, that's where all the fun things can happen. So if you heard me talk about the game before, you've probably heard me said that demo comes out soon and early access later this year. That's changed a little bit. Demo is still coming out soon, but our early access is now planning to come out sometime early next year. And this time when I say soon, I mean it more than the other soons I've ever said, because we have more concrete plans this time about like when the exact date of the demo is going to be. So soon. If you're already itching to try to play the game, we are planning on putting out a call on social media, and so if you keep an eye out, you might be able to try the game sooner than even when the demo is publicly available. So keep an eye out. If you're listening to this, honestly, you probably already wishlist the game, but for some reason you're listening to the devlog and you haven't wishlist the game, definitely wishlist the game. And then especially as you've tried the game out and as you have feedback, there's tons of ways to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on socials, but I think the best way and the place that I check the most is going to be our Discord. So drop by the Soulmates Discord, and you can literally just at me at Lauren Wing, and I will see you, and I will either drop you an emoji or I will say something. I guess the part that I haven't thanked yet is the other people that also helped make the game, which is the people that have tried the game and talked about the game, enjoyed the game, talked about the game to their friends. And that includes all our friends and family that have tried the game so far. That includes all the amazing people that have dropped by our convention booths or played the game because one of their friends shared it to them. We've seen everything from streamers that have tried the game out on Twitch, where I sat in their chat and talked a little bit about everything that went into the game. I have had families that have dropped by at these conventions, and 3 kids, and 3 kids and a very haggard dad trying out the game. We've had amazing interviews with people like IGN and Polygon that have dropped by to try the game out at these different conventions, and it's been a ton of fun. And not only that, it's been super helpful to kind of like experience real feedback about things that people find confusing, things that people find amazing, and everything in between. So thank you, everyone, and I hope that this next part of the game is gonna make you even more excited about what we have cooking.